Welcome to the I Fired My Boss Franchise Podcast. My name's Dan Claps, founder and CEO of Franchise Playbook, a franchisor platform where we create, own, and operate dynamic franchise brands in the mobile services space. And my life's goal is to help people just like you fire their boss and become a business owner.
And I'm Christian Dadulak, top franchise consultant and co-founder of Real Franchising, a leading franchise consulting firm. And together, we're on a mission to help people fire their boss, hire themselves, and live the American dream through franchise ownership.
I've got Christian on with me in our studio. How you doing, Christian?
Hey, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to chat and have this kind of what I would call a fireside chat or waterside chat, if you will, about marketing and really just, I think we share a lot of common mindsets on marketing. And I know you have to deal with my craziness sometimes, but you and I really do align on everything. And so I wanted to talk with you. Where did you find your calling in marketing? Like, what is it about marketing that just gets you out of bed in the morning?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Besides coffee first, of course.
Yeah, need coffee. I have a Keurig within arm's distance of my standing desk at home in my office. But I think my passion for marketing really comes from a place of helping people. I think it's a strange answer. I think some people are gonna hear that and like, huh? I think it depends on what you're selling. So I've always aligned myself with brands and companies that really help other people, or it helps solve a problem. So whether it's my time with working in higher education, getting helping people level up their educational aspirations and lives, or on the Fortune 500 franchise financial services side, with trying to help educate people to save for retirement and do things like that. And I think with franchising, when I started in franchising about 7 or 8 years ago, it was really about helping people realize their entrepreneurial dreams. So I think when it comes to marketing, what really drives me is being able to put a message that resonates with an audience, deeply understanding from a socioeconomic standpoint, from a sociology standpoint, from what makes a human tick, really deeply understanding that and putting messages and graphics and imagery that really makes someone feel something. When you think about marketing, marketing is all about emotion. So when you can make someone feel something, whether that's you make them feel happy, you make them feel nostalgic, you make them feel angry, all of those things drive sales. So I think from the standpoint, I always take the philosophy that marketing is part of the people business, and really understanding what drives people and those actions that you want them to take by putting the right message in the right place on the right platform at the right time.
Absolutely. And what fascinates me about being a franchise partner with Voda that maybe people don't realize is that, many of our franchise partners have, sales backgrounds, leadership backgrounds, but they perhaps are not a marketing mind. Meaning I have a marketing mind in the sense of I love marketing, I understand marketing, but it's funny, how many times do you have to make sure my business cards are there and our tablecloth looks the right way? And, you think about every detail, which is so important. And a lot of times for someone like myself, which is probably in, my deep down technical skill in my career, I started in sales before starting my own businesses. And so sometimes I can forget those things. And so refreshing knowing that when I go to a conference, you'll tell me, this is what you're going to bring for cards. This is the way we're going to present. And I follow the system, because that's just like being a franchise partner, being an executive, often you have to follow the system. Me as CEO, there's many times that I'm just following orders from my team because we have a decentralized command, right? And so when it comes to marketing, Christian leads that. I don't lead it. Christian leads it. When it comes to the development, Steve does. Operations, Zach. And so, what I think is so interesting is if someone's a franchise partner, they don't even have to think about what they need to bring to, a community event in their town, right? You've got that all covered for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that has been just amazing about building this business together is like between, Zach Nolte, our COO and co-founder, and Dan and myself, we've all been part of franchise systems. We've all seen how they're structured. I had the honor of starting my franchising career, in the largest fitness franchise in the world. I was supporting 3,200 units of Anytime Fitness in North America, and one of the things that from that experience and the other brands that I've worked, I've seen marketing done a lot of ways. I've seen marketing support systems done a lot of ways, and good things and bad things and the ugly things. And what we've done is we've really put together this marketing support and strategy program to really take a lot of the marketing hassle off the plates of our franchise partners. So we say we have a done for you marketing program, but largely we have your back. Anything you need, from the grand opening package that you get a Voda branded tent and door clings and lawn signs, and your advertisement and your social media channels are all set up, and your mobile optimized, SEO optimized website is up and running, very shortly after you sign as a franchise partner. We have you covered. We have your back. This isn't a place where you buy a franchise brand and we say like, good luck, and we're collecting royalties as a franchisor. We're really here to support you because when you succeed, we all succeed. And so from a marketing standpoint, I built this system with our team to really help, for a lack of a better term, like take the hard things off the plates of our franchise partners and save them from themselves. So lead generation is not everyone's forte, but we've set up a system where we know there's predictable ways to drive lead generation with price promotions and marketing messages and videos and engaging consumer creative that funnels into our call center seamlessly. That's all tracked with attribution that goes onto our CRM, and then allows you to that gets all those jobs scheduled. And really, the two biggest things our franchisees need to do from a marketing or a sales perspective is hire, retain, and train their employees, which we largely help with, and also make sure you're providing great service in your territories or in your markets. And so we're here every step of the way, and marketing is not something that is a strategy in which you just put a plan together and go out there and do it. It's consistently evolving. Looking at the numbers, looking at data-driven strategies where we can say, hey, you're getting more ROI from this tactic. Why don't we shift some of your marketing dollars towards this? Or we have a very big test and learn approach within our system. How do we take some of your marketing budget or add another marketing tactic that would, what we would consider to be a testing ground and see how that goes so that you can have new leads coming into your into your business. So we're very agile. We keep the pulse of everything happening in the marketing world, whether it's myself or my team. I like to joke. Some people go on vacation and read Harry Potter. If you see me on a beach, it's either a business book or a book by Gary Vee or some other marketing guru.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're passionate. It's what you love, and I think that's the secret to your success because you have genuine curiosity about marketing. One of the things that I'm just so excited about that we've done and that we're continuing to build because it's like a piece of art that's never finished was, I remember there's two things so far in our relationship working together that really get me, other things as well, but these are the two ones that really stand out to me. I'll never forget being in West Palm, the Palm Beach Atlantic University for a franchise event. And you approached me with this desire to work with a branding agency that works with Target and Patagonia and Home Depot and Lowe's and so many large brands. And I knew that for us, people are investing in three things when they invest in a franchise. One, the system, the actual business system. Two, the people, the leadership team like yourself and the rest of our executives. And then three, perhaps the most important, the brand. Now, branding doesn't necessarily mean branding like everyone knows the brand. I joke around ServPro is a 2,000 location franchise with, 1,000 franchisees, $3 billion in revenue, give or take. and no one knows them. I mean, people know them, but not everyone knows them. And it doesn't matter either to someone when they're using a service, especially in home services, that they know the name. What matters is that it stands out and it looks a certain way. You know, in the 50s, when people bought a McDonald's, they didn't buy it because they knew about McDonald's everywhere. They didn't yet, but those golden arches turned your head and got you to want to come into the business. And then the systems were great and made a great product, which like we're doing here at Vodo. And so I knew we needed to use a branding agency, but I had a price point in my mind. And you maybe only a month into working together.
Sure did.
Yeah. And you said something like that price is not going to work for the level of what you have in your mind. Let me deliver on your vision. And I'll just never forget your confidence in what we needed to do. I said to you, have you thought about this for a long time? And what was your answer to that?
My answer was absolutely. I had always wanted to. I had helped brands along the way. Clients that I worked for, but whether on the agency side or when I was on the corporate side for marketing, help rebrand. But building a brand from scratch was something that I always had a passion for doing eventually. And so when we knew we had to rename the organization, when we knew we had to find a partner that could rebrand it, I lent a lot of like my historical knowledge of some of the great agencies that I had grown up with in the Minneapolis market, and so really took a lens to who could help us do this. And largely, we partnered with someone outside of franchising because we think there's a lot of value with taking case studies and taking lessons from organizations that are outside of franchising. There's a lot of great things about franchising. There's a lot of great franchising vendors and a lot of great branding franchising vendors, but we really wanted to be a little bit different. So we partnered, and yeah, it was one of the biggest mountains I've had to climb, is to convince my CEO, who is the owner of the company, to fork over a hefty sum, like 6 figures, to rebrand this company.
Well, I never, again, I won't forget the experience, because I remember going to dinner with you and saying, you said something along the lines of like, I'm really grateful that you took had the foresight to invest this money. And honestly, it's the best money I've ever spent. But in retrospect, but at that time it was scary because we were launching our business, and, it's a good amount of money no matter what. And I remember saying to you, just to be clear, I'm not made of $1 billion, right? This is not a small amount of money for anyone. And this is my capital. And you looked me right in the eyes and said, I know. And that's why I'm going to make it work. And that's why we're going to succeed, because you knew that I was believing in you. And
I kind of put my neck out there. I feel like we kind of had this look at each other, and we kind of knew that if this didn't work, this was my head. I was like, I put it all on the table, but it all worked out. And one of the things that, having been a marketing consultant, and I saw this in Dan a little bit, is that, and this is to no fault of anyone, is that you sometimes clients have a desire to want to buy a lion, but they only have a budget to buy a cat. And so we ended up talking a lot about it, and he put a lot of faith in me, and I'm glad it worked out. And I think this is a process we'll do with any future brand that we bring on, and as we evolve and get more and more progress happening with a franchise playbook, branding will play a big role. We're a lead generation, organization. We're a branding organization, and marketing and content is at the heart of everything we do. Hence why you're listening to this right now. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And as we're wrapping up here, I want to touch on one more thing, but it's interesting. Like, we compare our business to a high performing sports team, not a family. Meaning, you threw the ball, it wasn't a Hail Mary, but you threw the ball. And if you had not made the play, I think there were other restoration companies hiring. No, I'm just kidding. You made that play, you made it happen. And, as a team, sometimes we're going to throw the ball and it's going to be a touchdown. Sometimes we're not going to throw the ball properly and it's not a touchdown, but, you threw the ball at the right time with the right, play, and you did a great job. But let's just touch on Scoreboard for a moment.
Yeah.
Because that was the second time so far in our career together where we pushed the envelope, where you and I spent months looking at data analytics platforms. And I think I remember saying, like, this is insane that there isn't what we're looking for available. And we pushed ourselves, instead of using, Google Data Studios and splicing it together in Excel and making a rinky-dink version that many franchisors attempt to do. We said, no, we're going to build Scoreboard. We're going to create the Peloton of franchising, meaning our franchise partners are going to be able to tune into Scoreboard and see all their key performance indicators, KPIs. But let's touch on that. What gave you the confidence to know that you could lead that project and deliver on it?
Yeah, that's a great question. Scoreboard is one thing that is definitely a competitive advantage for us and for our franchise partners. One of the things that, through the research, we just couldn't find a partner that did everything that we wanted to. I think that's really similar. The marketing technology space is so vast. I'd like to joke that if I knew what I knew now, I would have built a CRM that, was light years beyond, even ones that I love now, like HubSpot and others. But I think ultimately what we wanted to do was we wanted to take multiple sources of data from the business side, from the marketing side, and put it all into a comprehensive dashboard where instead of spending all this time gathering data, you could have more time looking at the data in one centralized place and more time actually leveraging it to make business data-driven decisions. So we leveraged our ability to, work our networks and leveraged a former Google data scientist that really allowed us to create a data warehouse where we're pulling in all of that data. And of course, abiding by GDPR laws and all of any PII and things like that, taking all that data in and really giving our franchise partners a view of their business and the health of their business in moments versus hours of gathering all that data on their own. So Scoreboard, playing off our franchise playbook, sports analogies, where do you get all your information at a game? It's on the Scoreboard. So Scoreboard is a centralized location where you can really get a glimpse of the health of your business. You can make decisions based on the data on that Scoreboard. And it's something that we're continually innovating on. I would say it's largely in version 1 right now. And I can't wait to see the more bells and whistles that we do. But it's something that I knew we could build because of my experience with marketing technology platforms. And we've built this platform on tools that I will tell you billion-dollar franchises are using right now. So if you want to say we're out punting our coverage, we're absolutely doing that.
Love it. Well, thank you, Christian, for joining and chatting, and to our potential franchise candidates. We look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, thanks.
You're f***ing fired.
If you want to say those words to your boss, make sure you head on over to ifiredmybosspodcast.com and fill out the form to schedule a no-cost consultation. And if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with a friend who might also want to fire their boss.